Okay, so who is actually going to win the 2020 European Championship competition? I've done my predictions for each of the groups A, B, C, D, E, and F. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you check them out to see which place I have put every country in from each of those groups. And now, from those 6 group winners, I'm here to discuss which one of them I think will go all out and win the entire competition. Of course, it could be someone that finishes second in the group or even third. It just makes it easier to go with the group winners, most likely candidates to do the best in the competition. If you win all your games, you deserve to win it, don't you? Okay, so we've got our 6 winners being Turkey, Belgium, Netherlands, England, Spain, and France from A, B, C, D, E, and F. So of course, Turkey are the big underdogs out of those options there, 51-1. But being impressed by their performances there, defeating Netherlands in qualifying, managing to defeat France and getting a draw off them is very good going against the world champions, of course. The fact that they have a couple of guys that were from Lille, the title-winning squad from France this season as well too, so there's quite a few good signs in Turkey's sides that they're going to do quite well in this competition. And they have been right up there before, back in 2008, when they ended up getting third place. So that's Turkey. Previous appearances, they've been the Euros back in 1996, 2000, 2008, and 2016. Next up, we have Belgium from Group B, who are the number 1 country in the world, managing to get 10 out of 10 wins in qualifying, managing to get all these great results, 6 wins, 2 draws, past 8 games, quite a good unbeaten streak going there, and some opponents like England beating them, and Czech Republic, Croatia, a few good nations in the midst there, and so-called golden generation, hoping to build upon their third place finish in the 2018 World Cup. In terms of the European performances, they've made 5 European Championships, only managing to make the last one. Before that, there was a 16-year gap. So 1972, 1980, 1984, 2000, and 2016. 7-1 odds to win the entire competition. The third favourites last time I had a look. Next up, we have the Netherlands representing Group C. They are the host team for Group C, so it makes it even easier themselves to do quite well. But going into the later stages of the tournament, there will be no home games for them. So they had such results like a 2-1 results, wins against Poland, beating Bosnia. Some disappointing results in the midst, but they're managing to make the Euros for the first time in a couple of goes. So they are rebuilding, getting back their reputation, and they know how to achieve quite well because they made a number of World Cup finals before. Just need to go that extra step and win the competition. They have ended up winning the Euros before, back in 1988, and they have made 9 appearances to date. Meanwhile, for England, another country that's gets to be the host nation for the group stages, they have been building on from a tournament to tournament. They're managing to make semi-final appearances in the Nations League, managing to make the semi-finals in the World Cup, and managing to do. They also managed to win the youth under 17 World Cup or something like that not too long ago. And they're managing to get a whole host of victories, winning the past 6 games that they played. Iceland, San Marino, Albania, Poland, Austria, and Romania. bit of a golden generation theme with a number of young players coming through the ranks, coming from the scouting, from the clubs that's in the Premier League, for example, Harry Kane in their squad is also within a good opportunity. Next up, we have Spain representing Group E. So they're looking at changing the passing technically, no tiki-taka, so it'll be interesting to see what they were about this time. Bit of a different identity, and they're very famous at doing really well in these type of competitions. Of course, they're the 2008, 2012 Euro winners and the 2010 World Cup winners. Also managing to win it back in 1964, and they have made 10 appearances to date. Recent results include a 7-game unbeaten streak, absolute demolition job against Germany 6-0, and a 0-0 good draw against Portugal. That's some of their achievements. And meanwhile, the last one is France, the 2018 World Cup winners. They were on an 18-game unbeaten streak there since a 2-0 defeat against Turkey a couple of years ago. So such opponents like Sweden, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Bosnia, Wales, and Bulgaria as of late. They've got Kylian Mbappe there, 22-year-old. He impressed a few years ago, and as he gets older, gets more experience, he's surely going to get even better. They have lots of other players to pick and choose between. So let's have a look at those countries and see how they performed in the Euro qualifying. For Turkey and France, they were placed in Group H. France managed to come out on top of that, picking up 25 out of a possible 30, 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. For Turkey in second, 7 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat, 2 points behind France in qualifying. Meanwhile, we have England, who was top of Group A, 7 wins, 1 defeat. So they had out of 8 games, because they were in a group of 5 countries, they managed to get 21 points out of a possible 24. We have the Netherlands in Group C, finished runners up behind Germany, picking up 6 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat with 19 points. We have Spain at topping Group F, 8 wins, 2 draws, picking up 26 points out of a possible 30. And we have Belgium top of Group I, 10 wins out of 10, picking up 30 points, defeating Russia, Scotland, Cyprus, Kazakhstan, and San Marino on both home and away fixtures. Now that is all the countries there. So who do I think will win out of those particular countries there? Turkey, Belgium, Netherlands, England, Spain, or France? Very good, difficult decision to make, of course. You also have to take into consideration all these different host countries. So on the 1 to 16, you've got Spain, England, Hungary, Denmark, Scotland, and the Netherlands, who get to be the host countries there. And only ones of host countries that I have remaining being the England and Netherlands, as well as Spain. From those 6 in the quarterfinals, it's Germany, Russia, Italy, and Azerbaijan that gets to host it. And in the semis and the finals, it's in England. So England have the majority of the home fixtures. Shall they make it that far? But after lots of deliberation about who do I think will win this tournament, in the end, I have decided to go for Belgium. Belgium to win their very first major tournament in their history there. They are ranked number 1 in the world, so they've got a lot to prove. They want to go all the way this time and win the tournament. They're managing to get 3rd place in the 2018 World Cup, so they're looking to go one step further and gets revenge on such opponents like France, who ended up knocking them out in that semi-final match. And they do have it in them to go all the way. It'd be nice to see a new winner. Don't want to see France winning back-to-back tournament trophies, though they could do it. They were a strong contender. I wasn't really favouring England there because they're really quite used to choking in all major competitions very often. So the fact that they are second favourites 6-1 is a little bit out there, but of course, yeah, mostly get to play at home. The quarter-final match could really keep them if they make it that far, because definitely won't be hosting it in that round. In terms of Netherlands there, it's just an achievement for them just to be back at the major tournaments. I think they'll do reasonably well, good enough to get to the knockout stages. Maybe they might squeak to a quarter-final or something like that, but it's not go all the way. For Spain, if they get everything right, they could do it, but they have had a couple of COVID cases coming through there and maybe a little bit too reliant on some of the young superstars to come through their ranks and perform the job. So they probably need a little bit more time to settle in to get the job done. And in terms of Turkey, probably be a good bet for a good outsider to win it. But yeah, 51-1 long shots. Stuff to continually pull off upset after upset. I think they will do enough to get some upsets, but to go all the way and be able to achieve might be a little bit too much of a stretch. So those are my thoughts there. Feel free to let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Have I got it right? Have I got the right group winners? Have I got the right winner for this whole entire tournament? Feel free to discuss that down below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, also feel free to subscribe. Cheers.